It is 6 o'clock. Call this regular meeting of Mulberry City Commission to order. If you would, please rise to the invocation, followed by the pledge. Pastor Stan, thank you for being here, sir.
Let's pray. Heavenly Father, we thank you for this night. Thank you for the way that you have watched over our town and our county in the storm last week and all the recovery efforts that are still ongoing. Lord, we pray for those here and those in our state that are still suffering and will be for a while to come. God, would you please be with them and provide for them? We ask tonight for this commission meeting that you would bless the proceedings here, and may your name be praised and honored among us. We ask in Jesus' name. Amen.
Please join the pledge. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
You may be seated. Roll call, Madam City Clerk.
Commissioner Knight. Commissioner McClintock. Here. Commissioner Devine.
Here.
Commissioner Smith. Commissioner Dolan. Here. Mayor Hack.
Here.
Attorney Crawford.
Present.
City Manager Johnson.
Here. First on the agenda is the minutes of the final budget hearing on September the 20th, and then the regular commission meeting on that same night following. What's your pleasure, Commissioner? Approval? Been moved by Commissioner Devine, seconded by Commissioner Smith, that we approve both as distributed. Is there any further discussion? All in favor, say aye. Aye. Opposed? It's passed. Couple things. I guess first is this proclamation I have for City Government Week. Am I presenting that to anybody in particular? Okay. So I'll just read it. A resolution to the City of Mulberry recognizing Florida City Government Week, October 17 to 23, and encouraging all citizens to support the celebration and corresponding activities. Whereas the city government is the government closest to most citizens and the one with the most direct daily impact upon its residents, and whereas municipal government provides services and programs that enhance the quality of life for residents making their city their home, and whereas government is administered for and by its citizens and is dependent upon public commitment to and understanding of its many responsibilities. And whereas city government officials and employees share the responsibility to pass along the understanding of public services and their benefits. And whereas Florida City Government Week offers an important opportunity for elected officials and city staff to spread the word to all citizens of Florida that they can shape and influence this branch of government. And whereas the Florida League of Cities and its member cities have joined together to teach citizens about municipal government through a variety of activities. Now therefore be it resolved by the City of Mulberry as follows. Section 1, that the City of Mulberry encourages all citizens, city government officials, and employees to participate in events that recognize and celebrate Florida City Government Week. Section 2, that the City of Mulberry encourages educational partnerships between city government and schools, as well as civic groups and other organizations. And Section 3, that the City of Mulberry supports and encourages all Florida city governments to actively promote and sponsor Florida City Government Week. Passed and adopted by the City of Mulberry, dated the 4th day of October 2022. Lord H. Hatch, Okay, now with that said, yeah. I got a thing. I know, I got one more quote. Good things that. Listen, that's it right there. Yeah. I'm going to go to the podium and I'm going to ask. That time of year, I'm going to ask Christy Childs to come see me. Come here. Let's go. Okay. Christy is our employee of the quarter. No, I didn't.
No.
Surprise! So, I'm going to read this real quick. Oh, I got to put my glasses back on. City of Mulberry cannot achieve success without hardworking employees like yourself. Thank you for the effort and diligence that you put into your work every single day. Congratulations on being our Employee of the Quarter for July to September 2022. There's you a little, what do you call that? Certificate, thank you. And then there's a little gift card, and I won't tell everybody how much it is, but you can look and see. And you got, you can respond, you got 30 minutes.
Just thank you, I've been here, what, 6 months now, and I love it. Thank you.
Well deserved.
And then while I've got everybody's attention and I'm doing stuff like that, I want this man to stand up. Tomorrow will be 10 years that Rick Johnson has been here. We all can take inspiration for your hard work, dedication, passion, and loyalty that you have displayed throughout these 10 years of service. October 5th, 2022. Ta-da,
Oh, guys, I didn't see this one coming, actually. I really didn't.
There's a box.
I'll just stand up since I ain't gonna talk anymore. I just want to thank everybody and the confidence you guys have in me. Still, Coach, I have to remind him he's the only one that didn't vote for me when it came to but I think we got a great team assembled. I think we got a great group of commissioners here. I got a great crew out there working, making the city, and making you guys proud of everything. So thank you very much.
And we're proud of you. And I'm proud of the city for all the work that the workers did during this hurricane time too, because they were on 24/7 during that and kept us going. So good job to the staff too. And I know John and Rick both had and Chelsea and all the department chairs or whatever they're called, directors or whatever it is, they all had a hand in that. And things that we've done, like the gym theater still standing and the roof didn't cave in and all, stuff like that. So that's really great news that all of our city buildings are okay. Okay, moving on. Cultural Center, Ms. Chelsea.
I'm first? Amazing.
And while you're there, you might as well do the Chamber of Commerce.
Sure. Our TVs are on. They go on?
Yeah, they went off.
Wayne Meyer, probably can't move the Chamber Circle.
Wait a quarter, you keep the TV on?
Of course, she took too long to get to
Of
them.
course, she's the only one who can help us now. Gotcha. See, this is why Laura has to go first. Okay, thank you. I think my clicker works. All right. So for September, which I can't believe has already come and gone, the museum had 7 rentals, the gym theater had 5, the civic center had 3, plus a wonderful book sale by friends of the library. During Hurricane Irma, I have done that more times than I can tell you. Hurricane Ian, the museum did have some damage. It's none to the artifacts or the artwork at the cultural center, so thank goodness there, because those are replaceable. But we have fence and trees and a little bit of water damage in the phosphate gallery and signs, but nothing that we can't get through. Thank you. And then we did have a little bit of flooding in the gym theater, so that was a fun surprise. But we did thankfully wrap all of our equipment, so we shouldn't have any expensive damage in that regard. So I am very grateful on how well the facilities in my department did. The cultural center just had a little water come in, but we knew that was going to happen. We had towels, so we were good. Unfortunately, the Hispanic Heritage Festival had to be canceled. Spence Park is a bit of a mess. Staff might be a bit of a mess at this point. and there just isn't time in our schedule to reschedule, so we're looking forward to bigger, better next year. But thank you to everyone who had agreed to participate, and we look forward to having it next year. I wanted to point out the outlets that we advertised with for that event, which were over 47 different ones, but some of the bigger ones being Facebook, Instagram, Syntex Solutions, which is our tech service, Florida Courier, Haven Magazines, Highland News Sun, Newsweek, Orlando Magazines, Pulp News Sun, TCMI Events, and Ledger. So I hope there weren't a whole bunch of people there at 10 o'clock on Saturday, but I think they probably got the word. In celebration of National Hispanic Heritage Month, in partnership with the library, the Gym Theater will be showing Encanto, which that's the wrong date, so ignore that, this Friday on early release day. So that'll be at 2 o'clock, and Luisa in my department has a craft to go along with it, and that should be great. Harvest Festival is fast approaching. We have it advertised with 37 outlets, and that's on October 29th. We'll have Trunk or Treat. That application has been available. I would love to see more people sign up, and you could maybe win $200 for being the best, spookiest, most wonderful trunk, and that will give out candy to all the local kids, and we have games and vendors. We're about 40 vendors right now, so it should be a really good time. And then Thursday at the Cultural Center, we're opening up dispatches from the lithosphere, which you can't tell from this photo, but they're all sculptural, and we haven't gotten to do a lot of sculpture, and it's really, really cool. Most of it was installed today. I am blown away by the architectural design, and it's very, very cool and different. So Thursday, 5 to 7 is that exhibit opening. As always, everyone is welcome, light refreshment provided, and the artist name is Matthew Campbell, who is a Polk school board art teacher. I know that everyone always has this on their calendar, but National Fossil Day is fast approaching, the best day of the year, and we will be celebrating on October 14th with our fossil expedition, which goes to the various parks. You get a map, and by car, you have little tasks to do. You need your prize kit at the end, if you do it all, which includes finding a shark tooth. So not everyone will, but you have to try to win, and that'll be a drop-in from 10:30 till noon on that Saturday, October 14th. At the gym, we'll have a Hocus Pocus party on October 21st, which will have spooky snack boxes guaranteed with admission if you pre-buy your tickets. That is on a Friday night on the 21st at 7. And then the next day, much requested, we will have a Universal Horror Classic double feature for $5 for both films. So you don't have to come to both, but $5 for either 1 or 2. Why not go to 2? With Dracula at 2 and The Wolfman at 3:30. So that is it for that report. Now, Christy, I have the chamber report now. Completely prepared for and know everything about it.
It's coming.
I know. I have no doubt. Employee of the quarter wouldn't fail me. Look at that, Jim.
Pretty good.
I know.
Technology,
I'm
man.
impressed. It was good. So this is for the quarter from the chamber, and we've had a few events. One was a new member reception at the Cultural Center, which had 8 new businesses in attendance. As I hope many of you have been to, we had our chamber breakfast. July featured the high school, which was a great time to get to tour, and that was sponsored by Citizens Bank, and Principal Young led us through that. In August, we had State Representative Bell, which worked around elections beautifully. Thank you to everyone who's adaptable. And then in September, the most recent one was really great with Bob Macy and the Kiwanis Club. And you know, I don't want to follow Bob when he talks, so I like when he goes. And then our director and our executive board had a power lunch with Florida Chamber Association and learned about what's going on throughout the state and how the chamber can be as best equipped to meet the challenges coming up in the next year and network with what other chambers are doing. And we're always pretty proud of how well we stack up with that, I have to say. So that was a well-attended, we were well represented at that event. And then we had a private farewell to Beth and Jim Clark event because they have happily, I think they're moving into retirement. They keep saying they're going to. I know they've sold it, but they're still here. But they have sold their business to a national company, EnviroServe, and we are wishing them the best. They have been nothing but supportive of nearly every thing the city has done, and a special shout out to me at the museum, very much so. And these are some pictures from the breakfasts. This is from the reception. You can tell I didn't do this presentation because there's a picture of me. So That wouldn't have happened if I had done it. Upcoming events. We have October 19th will be our chamber breakfast, which will be done with EnviroServe / Clark Environmental. And that will be Bill Beasley, our county manager, giving a county update. And November 16th will be Mosaic. A fun 5K and fundraiser on October 29th, which is the morning of Harvest Festival. You can run in costume or walk or creep, however you do your 5Ks. And that will be at, I believe it's 7:30 at the park. That's the county park because it's a trail run off of Carter Road. And then let's get down to Quizmas is trivia on November 17th at the Civic Center. That's great fun. If you've ever been to trivia that week that my department's hosted or you went to last year's, it's a good time. I do have to say that Rick Johnson is the team to beat. I've got people saying I don't know who can beat him, but I bet somebody can, so you should try. There should be extra prizes for that. I just decided that now. And then the summer newsletter was published. I hope you got it at the end of July. Recent new members being Valley Bank, Double M Audio, Roost Realty Group, and that our total membership as of August 31st is 123. And as we mentioned, Clark Environmental has sold to EnviroServe, which are chamber members, with 34 locations in the U.S. Congratulations go to these chamber members who are recognized as either nominees or winners in the Best of Central Florida. That would be Carlton Arms, 2 Men in a Truck, Serve Pro, Polk State College, Dina's Place Diner and Grill, Eye Specialist of Mid-Florida, Central Florida Speech Hearing Center, Brita Staffing, Citizens Bank and Trust, and Spaff Jewelers. Thank you. Are there any questions of anything I've said today? I do have a question.
Yes. So for the Encanto, is there ticket process or just show up?
We do have a registration with Central Florida Ticks. It's free. If you don't register, we're not kicking you out. We're just trying to get a rough idea for crafts. But if you forget and it's 2 o'clock, please come by.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. Any other questions?
Thank you.
All right, great.
Ms. Laura, come on down. And crew.
Good evening. Laura Holton and Sarah French for the library. So tonight's focus is about marketing and how we tell people about our programs and services. And because my staff does it all, and I just oversee it, I say yes. Sarah's actually going to do the presentation tonight, so I'm passing it off to Sarah.
All right, Sarah.
Thanks, John.
All right, so the first picture is from our Spanish story time with Miss Jenny, which is fantastic. And I got to sit in on it, and I'm taking Spanish right now, but I don't necessarily fully understand what was happening, but it was so enjoyable to be a part of. And then watching them do the craft was just really cool. You all got a copy of our October calendar. We have so much going on, so many book clubs, just fun for every age. So please, please, please come out and join us. You will not regret it. You'll have so much fun. So like Chelsea said, for National Hispanic Heritage Month, we are celebrating with an Encanto story time tomorrow. So that'll be at 9:30 and 10:30. Jenny and I will both be, I'll be reading in English and she'll be reading in Spanish, the same book. So that'll be really fun. And then October 6th, we have a pencil expression for elementary, and they will be doing Colombian folk tales. And then, like Chelsea said, October 7th, we will be showing a movie at the Gem Theater. So please come out and join us. You'll have fun. And because it's October, we have our Book-A-Ween. So last year we had a great turnout, so much fun. If kids and adults come dressed up between 9 and 4:30 on October 27th, they can win a book prize for just dressing up and having a good time. All right, so as Laura said, we are talking about marketing. So we kind of wanted to say what we do to market. So our in-house marketing is the City Hall, of course, has the electronic sign outside. And then we have bulletin boards in the lobby. It's very interesting. We'll hear the door and we'll hear people come in, and then we don't see them for like a solid 5 minutes because they are taking in all of the bulletin boards. So people do look at those. We have it separated. We have a kids bulletin board, a teen and tween bulletin board, and an adult bulletin board. So that way, whatever age you're looking for, you can go straight to that bulletin board and see what's going on. We have our checkout time, which is where we really push to upsell what we have going on in the library. And then, of course, when people get new library cards, we tell them everything that is going on in the library, which is a ton. So it may seem a little overwhelming, which is why they receive a calendar and they receive the wrap cards that Alicia made. And so they get to have everything with them as they leave the library. On the next one, we do our print promotion. So like you all get every month, you get our calendar printout. So which has all of our events on it and programs that we have going on. We have flyers that we post on our social media, and then we have our pamphlets. So we have our Career Online High School pamphlet that we give out to students that are interested, and then also the wrap card, like I said, that Alicia made that has our information on it, our hours, what they can check out, that we're fine free. So it has all that awesome stuff on it. So news and radio, Alicia is amazing, and she does such a great job on getting our information out there. So the Mulberry Press, if they don't post our full calendar every month, they still post things at our special events that are happening at the library. The Ledger, this is a screenshot that Laura got from the Ledger that actually has, you can see Storytime over there. It has a few of our events on it, and you can always look at it that way. Radio at 97.5 also has commercials, so if you listen to that station, which I was in the car one day and heard it, and I totally geeked out and was so excited. I was like, my work is famous. And then Bay News 9 also posts a page that always has the Mulberry Public Library events on it, which is incredible. And again, I have seen that and as well. My grandmother has, and she sent a picture to me and was like, you guys are famous. So it's awesome. All right, and then we have our electronic communications. So Laura sends out an email every school year to all the local schools saying what's going on at the library, so that way they can reach out to their students. The city has an email newsletter that we that Chelsea puts us in. We do have the co-op summer booklet, so every summer we do get a bunch of stuff from everyone in the county. And then the Polk Literacy booklet also does great. And then we also have the texting service that Alicia, every week, she will send out just programs that are happening within that week. Because sometimes you can look at that calendar and it does seem a little overwhelming. So she does make flyers for every week with events that are going on. So now how can you connect with us? We have a huge social media, we have everything for everybody. So if you text library 905 to that number on the screen, you will get those texts that Alicia sends out every week. But we are all different generations, so we have to use all different tools to reach out to every generation. So for Generation X and older, Facebook is no, we're all young, but Facebook is the golden ticket. We love Facebook. Facebook is fantastic, and that's how we reach the generation. For millennials are huge on Instagram. So we do have an Instagram that they follow, and that's where they see everything. For our Gen Z, we do have TikTok. We have just a teen Instagram, and we have a Discord program. And then for all ages, we do have our podcast, because all ages are listening to podcasts, and podcasts are becoming a lot more popular. So also shameless plug, because I am on that podcast, so please listen to it, it's great. But these are our teams. So Discord is a server on the internet that they are a part of. They can have an app on their phone. That's how we connect to our teen volunteers. That's how we tell them about the programs that are going on for teens. And then we also have our teen Instagram that they can follow and see what's happening there. And then they also like to see pictures of themselves pop up once in a while. So that's pretty great. We also have our website. Bethany did a fantastic job, and she is great at keeping up with it. And I know that we presented that before, so you can always find out what we're doing on that website. And then if you go onto the app for Polk County Library Cooperative, if you go over to and you're logged into the Mulberry Public Library page, you can see all of our online events on there as well. So how can you help to promote the library? So, like I said, we all love Facebook and we love Instagram. So share with your friends what's going on. As you know, we had our book sale a couple weeks ago, and I have posted a picture on both Instagram and Facebook. And that picture, I wrote down actually the numbers on it, because we were all just, it was insane. Let's see, it was shared 134 times, and it reached 16.5 thousand people, which is a ton. So by you sharing on Facebook what is going on in the city, at the library, at the cultural center, you are then like broadening Mulberry. So it is a great access. I love social media for that fact, because our town might be smaller than other ones, but I feel like we are greater in a lot of things, and that's one of them. So, and also word of mouth. If you come to things and people know that you're coming to things, they're gonna hear it, they're gonna love it, and they're gonna wanna come too. So, that's all I got. Anyone have questions?
Questions? Thank you, Sarah. And next on the agenda, did you give everybody is the city manager evaluation?
Yep, happy to address that, right. So, the, I'm gonna report.
She's coming up next.
Yeah. Yeah, no problem, Mayor, happy to take care of that. So on the agenda today is the city manager evaluation. We'd like to get that done either late September or October. So I will pass these memorandums around. These are copies of a memo I did today to Mr. Johnson. What I am happy to report is that Mr. Johnson's average final score is a 4.96 out of 5, which is 99.26% of the available points that he could have received. It's 1.46% higher than last year's evaluation average. So Mr. Johnson continues to, his star continues to rise here in the city of Mulberry. So, happy to give that news to him and probably announce that to everybody here in the city.
Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely.
I will say, this passes down to Ms. Linda. This is the time of year when we usually talk about giving him a raise. Jamie is gonna give us sometime in the
Christie
future.
has it.
Oh, you have it?
It's just one copy, but we can make more copies.
Would we please? That's all you can get.
But, the good thing is with the adoption of the recent employment agreement with, Mr. Johnson, there is an automatic raise function that does take place based on the percentage points
Okay.
multiplied by the CPI used.
Okay.
So at this point, so there is a function that's built into his contract
Okay.
as well. But certainly y'all can discuss however you see fit.
Well, I need more information than what I've got, and I know the other commissioners do too. So. And I don't know how to proceed other than that. Just postpone it till the next meeting. That makes sense.
I think so.
Sound good too.
I think so, Mayor.
And, but we'll take care of it. So let's go to Miss Julie.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone.
Good evening.
Michael? Yes.
Yes, on.
Julie's Health Concern Center of Mulberry and Surrounding Inc., Post Office Box 134. To our mayor and to all our commissioners, to the city clerk, city manager, and city attorney. And I just want to say, Ms. Cheryl is not sick, is she?
She took some time off.
Oh, okay, all right. And we're glad to see Mr. Knight is here tonight. Now, community report for today, October the 4th. My, oh my, aren't we blessed?
Mhm.
is so good to know that we are alive, safe, and that our city, our community is not underwater. We have lights, we got food, etc. And we thank God for saving all of us from this deadly hurricane Ian. So let's applaud him. We also applaud and thank all of our hard-working employees. Everyone, from the secretaries on down, getting the paperwork, getting everything ready. Mr. John with his public works crew, did the best. Come on, let's hear it. They were out in the rain, they were working. I was at the church trying to get the church ready for the shelter, and those guys, every minute on the corner, everybody working, trying to get things ready, safe for the community, preparing, and just working like Trojans. So we're just so proud of our city. Also, let's give an applaud out to the first responders. As you know, some of the people had anxiety attacks, heart attacks, scared. And so every minute on the hour you heard the what? The ambulance is going and the siren going. So let's hear for those guys working, trying to calm people out. And there were some accidents because you know everybody's crazy, trying to get last minute stuff and trying to do this and that. So we just applaud everybody for their hard work. And also for the sandbag crew. I had to go to Lincoln early that morning, but I thought something happened. I knew that wasn't school, but I thought something happened. I mean, the line was from down where y'all were sanding all the way on 37.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, okay, 37.
yeah. So we just so proud that our city had things that, to accommodate the citizens, because they were scared that they want to protect their homes and everything. So we just were so happy and proud of our city. We love Montgomery. That's what Montgomery's all about. We take care of our citizens. And so we're just so happy to know. And let's thank TICO. They had those convoys of what? Electrical contractors coming in, making sure that we had lights. I think they contracted, they contract from other counties and states. So
Yes, mutual aid. Yeah.
That's a cooperative agreement that they have between all the electrical companies.
okay. All right, but whatever it was, they were here for us, and we thank them so much for getting things done. There was some discomfort, we know that, and that happens with something, Tony was going to help. But quickly, we got, our lights was on that Saturday. I know some of them, of course, I know y'all had a long, hard time, but y'all got up.
4 days.
Yeah, 4 days, and some others. Commissioner, what y'all like to say about it? Okay.
4 days.
Yeah, 4 days. Okay, yeah, that's 4 days. But that wasn't too bad, it could have been weeks, months, some places. So we're proud that, those guys were able to get us back going. Really miss things that we had, so we really was pleased with that. And so we just so happy that everyone just worked together. All the schools, some of our local schools and churches serve as shelters for our citizens. We do thank all our teachers, the principals, everyone, bus drivers, getting back, working together as a team to make sure that the schools are ready and clean and safe for the kids to return back to school on today. And then on a sad note, our hearts were sad after there was some loss of lives down south. We all know of Fort Myers and other places. Everybody lost, so our hearts go out to those families, and our prayers go out to everyone that had lost and damaged. It affected everybody. I think every yard got some debris. Got some on Fort Bartow, the city of Oaks. It's just really terrible over there. But I've seen too, that I've never seen before, these different trucks that they got now coming in for those big old mills and stuff like that. Are they coming up from out of state as well? Because I don't think we have those.
A lot of private contractors have come probably from out of state, but they have to register with the county.
Okay, but they're on the road, they're going, they're working, and we know there's a long haul because there's a lot of debris. But most of all, we just thank God again. So let's give everybody another round of applause for working so and everything. Like I said, we do thank the Lord for sparing us. Now, some good news. Congratulations to the employee of the month. Let's hear it again. And Mr. Johnson, 10 years, and let's hear it. Everybody stand up. Yay. city.
I'll remember that Erica was the only employee that stood up.
All right.
Boy of the next quarter.
They're just terrible. I'm not gonna take over the city point system or how we ought to do, but concerned citizen give you the facts. All right. Now, help is available to all who need help, you know, with FEMA, with the hurricane. The Red Cross, Salvation Army, and of course FEMA, is ready to help. So I know the city, you have the numbers, who don't you? So the citizens out there, you know that you can go on disasterassistance.gov, or you can call 1-800-621-FEMA. And also, I'm understanding that you can get gas at for $2.96 at Sam's Club. Now, I forgot to ask, does that mean you have to have a Sam's Club, or you can just sit at the club?
Yes.
Yes, you have to have
All the people at the Sam's Club can go there and get the gas cheaper. But anyway, that's still a break, for the ones who have the Sam's Club. Go ahead and get gas, and of course, the Lord's been bringing down the gas prices, and I look for the ones that got the cheapest price, that's where I go. So, but anyway, we are so happy and so glad again that there is help that's on the way. Most of our schools are back in session now, and as I said before, many of our schools serve as shelters, and our schools have been clean and ready. We'd like to thank all the departments' heads, the bus drivers, everybody came to work, which was so glad, and it was so great that they did that. And so we thank everyone for caring and sharing. And that's, you know, everybody's still kind of scared and all full of anxiety. But let's drive safe, because everybody is not sharing the road safely. They're cutting in, you know, so I know it's not us doing that, but we just have to be intensely drive intensely, because others are not. They're just all over the road. So let's drive safe as much as possible. And it's also the California, the crossing guards, that's renewing the school zones. Now, as I said before, Florida can be a beautiful state, but it also can be a monster. So we have to respect the weather, our climate here. So when the warnings say heed to them, let's do that. Let's be prepared, because you know a lot of people did not take this storm seriously. They thought it was kind of like a global thing, and it did not. So let's, as our citizens, whenever we get that report or whatever, and I'll just read this in the paper that Mr. Hinston wrote about in 1900, I think in Texas, 8,000 people went out to church. They did not have this. They didn't have a proper system. There was no way to alert people. Only had that teletext, that thing that said, "This is what was that?" Whatever it was, the Richter scale. Huh? Oh yes, whatever that was that they used to tell something was coming. That's all they had. There were no sirens, nothing to say, "All right, get ready." And so a lot of people don't say. So we're just blessed that we now have systems that we can alert our people and be prepared in days and weeks ahead before the storms hit. So we thank God for that. That's just about all my report now. So we'd like to thank all the department heads, Chelsea, everybody, all the department heads. I don't want to forget anybody, because everybody does a great job. The community events are still on schedule. We're so sorry that the Hispanic Customer had to be canceled. But the other events, we're hoping to support and be a part of our events. This ends my report. Let's thank safety. Let's stay safe as much as possible. God bless our city, our country, our troops, our citizens, and our first responders. And thank you very much.
Thank you, Ms. Julie. City Commission comments. Let's see. Neil, you want to go first?
Wow, that never happens.
Can't say that anymore.
Right. Well, I can say that other commissioners might be redundant to what I'm about to say, but that's okay. We can be redundant. Those of you know I frequent the Mulberry Ice Cream Company. I loop around the block behind the gym theater as I leave, and I notice it's quite dark. Can we possibly hang a light up there for safety for the staff?
And we actually have one scheduled to go up there,
Okay.
specifically for when they empty the garbage and all that kind of stuff.
Well, that works, that was easy, okay. It's City Government Week. Proclamation was read. And I'm just gonna rabbit trail on home rule. We as citizens don't know what home rule is. I did not know what home rule was until I was elected. Basically, it's local voices making local choices. So keep things local. What works best for our city might not work for every other city in the state of Florida, but that's okay. Keep the legislative local as can be. I'd like to thank the city staff and the linemen who came from near and far to get us up and running in a matter of less than a week. Rick and John. 9:30 at night, they were on the road at MLK and Fifth Avenue. Is that Fifth Avenue? Street, okay. Just checking things out. Work non-stop. Thank you all for that. Congrats to Christy for the Employee of the Quarter and City Manager Johnson. Coach, should we still call him the new city manager?
No, he's old man.
Been a decade, right?
Yeah, he's old man.
Congratulations to you. Looking forward to 10 more, but I know retirement's, very near.
Not that close, but not 10 years.
That pretty much concludes what my comments are written down.
Commissioner McClintock.
Good evening, everyone. So I'll keep this pretty short and sweet because it's about the same. Congratulations to Christy for Employee of the Quarter. Well deserved, I'm sure. Congratulations to Rick on the 10 years here. You're very welcome. And I just want to give a quick little shout out to the library staff. That's awesome. You all do so much. And not only the programs, but also just all of the media that you all are doing. It's impressive. I don't know if anyone else around here is doing that, even just like a business, let alone a government entity. So that's pretty great. And then finally, our hurricane response was just on point, from the preparation to actually, responding in real time, the text messages that we were getting about, updates throughout the city. That was really great, really helpful. The cleanup was very fast. We did lose power, but we expected that, and then it came back relatively quickly. I don't know how many of you remember Charlie, and then there was like 3 other hurricanes behind Charlie. But I remember as a child, we lost power for like 2 and 3 weeks, and we didn't have water and things like that. So this time, really, really not a lot to complain about, especially considering other parts of our state. So, those folks just stay in our prayers, and I'm grateful that we're here. Yes.
Commissioner Knight.
Well, first of all, I'd like to apologize for being late.
It happens.
Don't have an excuse. Clocks were all off an hour. I'm the one that said it. Paradise Lakes took the hurricane with some damage to awnings and carports, but no major damage. Our power was out for just a little over 1 day.
Wow.
I cranked up a generator I borrowed from a friend, ran it for about 6 hours, my lights came on. I was expecting it to be 4, 5, 6 days.
Should have invited all of us over for some air conditioning.
Well, the power was on to my refrigerator and my freezer, and that's it. That kept the food safe. I'd like to thank the Lord for our blessings, for the fact that we were all spared our lives and Public Works Department, and to all of the city employees who work so hard to clean up the city so quickly and keep everything running. I am appreciative, very appreciative of anything I can do for that, I will. I believe that we have the very best city manager that. All right. And, also want to congratulate you on employee of the quarter. You really deserve it. And that's about all I have for right now.
Thank you. Mr. Smith?
Oh.
Wake
Because
up.
I want to congratulate she knows how to get me on the phone for some reason. I don't know what it is, but.
We'll call your wife.
Yes. It has to be.
Is that what it is?
But on a more serious note, I was just so heartbroken about the young man that lost his life. The sheriff's department, I had to go for you guys, you have a dangerous job.
Point of order, Coach Smith, he was a Mulberry graduate.
I know, and football
But
player.
I don't know that everybody knew that.
Yeah, he's a football player. He's a football player. You know, I wasn't there about the he wasn't. My heart goes out to that family. And his family, I think.
He's got a 3-year-old.
3-year-old. And again, see, I didn't vote for him, but I'm not in his pocket where he sits, he's big. So, congratulations again to, Rushville's city manager. And I got a question for you. Now, what is the deal with the timepiece, well, at the clock at the city hall? Not city hall. Civic Center.
Oh, a sign?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we had a company, probably 7 or 8 years ago that did some sign work and wanted to stick their toe in the water and, do that. So they want to get into electronic signs, and whatever they did, it didn't work. And it never really worked very well. You drive by there and it would say it was 187 degrees outside. So, it got to the point where it just got fried over the years, and so the sort of the guts need to be replaced, and actually probably we need to replace the whole sign. It's somewhere in this $25,000 range. So, we've not budgeted for it, but we certainly could do it whenever the commission would kind of like us to do it, make it a priority. It's been, because it was such a large chunk of money in the past, we just said, well, we'll just, whatever. You guys would like, we can fix that sign. I think actually what we'll do is probably replace it with a brand new sign, because I think we can do a brand new sign cheaper than fixing the one that's there, because I believe they're in the low, well, they were in the low 20s. Recently, I think the one out here was 21,000. I think the Mayor's Church was somewhere around that, because I think we used the same.
A little more than that.
We used a different contractor that makes these kinds of signs all the time, and it held up very well.
So and I don't mean to cut you off. My question would be, now Mosaic donated that sign to us.
They gave us like $60,000 grant for that, and some other stuff, the outdoor bathroom, which is now attached to the coffee shop, a couple other things, but they did.
I was just, now that I know you think they would be willing to get back into that project again, because it was a good idea, but it just didn't pan out.
Yeah, well, we tried, like I said, we tried to do something locally. I'm not faulting them. That was, I think, the only time they ever tried to do an electronic sign. I've not noticed that they've done the others.
Right.
And they were unable to warranty it because it was just a big mistake. And, we can ask them if they're willing to do it. Actually, there's still some of that money available in that grant. It's been getting carried over. We'll have to do some research, because should be getting carried over in reserves. We were working on originally an outdoor classroom down in the pavilion. We've altered that. Had some progress now, but it's not actually an outdoor, it is an outdoor classroom, but not the original design. So it was the outdoor classroom and the bathroom and the sign was like $60,000. So I'm sure there's probably enough money left over in that grant money. We just have to dig through all our stuff to see how much is left. We could probably just redo the sign. But then of course, now we're into the sign for $50,000, but I think we can do it. It's probably time that we did it because that's such a highly traveled street. We just not really felt good about needing to have it done again after having it done once.
Exactly. I just hate to see us spend that kind of money. But it was a really, noticeable thing when we first got it. But it just didn't work well at all.
Well, why don't we'll get some more prices if that's what you guys want to do, and we'll get a firm price for you. If you guys will bring that back, hopefully by the next meeting or so. I don't know what it's going to be like trying to chase people down on electronic signs now right after the hurricane, but within a month or so, we'll try to get a price back to you. You guys just give us the, go ahead and go for it because it's not budgeted for, but we have the money to do it. We're going to do it. We should do it now.
But really, I didn't bring it up to it for us to go and spend more money, but that's
But I really think that money is still there. It's just been getting carried over year after year, somewhere hidden in the budget, it's sitting there.
right.
So we'll have to just dig that back.
Okay, well, just a question I had. Well, I guess that's it.
Commissioner Dolan,
Yeah,
wait a minute. You got a point about the sign?
Purpose to the signage, we're getting ready to build a city complex in that area. That's gonna go right to that street. We're gonna turn our civic center into our library. I think the sign should be included in all of that.
Still going.
I know it's a couple of years out, but, maybe less. But the sign would then be, aesthetically pleasing to the complex and would have the ability to express more communication about what the area is instead of just putting up a new sign.
Well, the technology is probably much improved over the last few years as well. Because I remember, I think when they were naming the gymnasium after Coach, we tried to put his picture up on the sign.
Right.
And it wasn't pretty. It didn't even look human. It really was bad.
Well,
So I'm thinking
jumbotron
now it's,
only small.
yeah, but it's it's all pixelated, funny, square, like a Lego man or something. But anyway, that point is well taken, but why don't we get some prices back to you guys?
Yeah.
And then you guys can decide once we figure out how much it
You
is.
got proposals out now for building the city complex.
But they're not out
Not
yet.
yet.
Yeah.
We don't actually own the property yet, we're in that due diligence period.
We haven't.
Well, what I'm saying, it won't be long before we, if you were to include signage for 60 and Fifth Avenue, our Fifth Street, in the proposal to build the entire complex, then they would have maybe finance for 45, 50 years.
Yeah, it makes sense, I see what you're saying, but.
But then you gotta wait
Couple of years, maybe.
a couple of years probably.
But, I think the first step is we'll get some prices from you guys. We'll bring it back and then you guys can go on that. Maybe everything went down in price.
Yeah, right.
Well, like television, went down in price. Maybe this technology is cheap.
I got a letter from Paradise Lakes to rent that, $50.
Mr. Nolan, what you got?
Well, we had a real successful book sale. Don't know the final count yet, but we had constant traffic all day Friday and Saturday morning until we closed. And I'd like to thank John and his crew and out there working too, for all that they did for the city. We went to the Gem Theater for the dinner theater. The chicken was excellent. I had never seen the movie, so, yeah, we really enjoyed it. And I was just, our hearts go out to that deputy's family. When I heard on the news today that he graduated from Mulberry, and he has a 3-year-old. So, and that's about all I have.
Thank you. The picture I saw on Facebook had him holding 2 kids. Both were very small. That breaks your heart, doesn't it? Yeah. Again, congratulations to Christy and Rick. And to follow up on something I think Miss Julie said, talking about linemen coming from Bartow the other day, I bet you there was 15 or 16 lift trucks out there working on the line, and they're all from upstate New York.
That's right.
Is where those trucks were from, and I was just like, that's really, I know FEMA will eventually pay their company back for their work and time and all that, but that's dedication to me, I'm telling you, it just really is, so proud of, those are true heroes, those linemen, as opposed to NFL linemen. But anyway, and again, thanks to the city for all their work, John and crew. And I assume the roll down doors at the Civic Center work fine.
Work great.
And that's just super to protect the library and Civic Center that we do have right now. And that's all I have. So I'll turn it over to our city manager. It's all yours, boss man.
Yeah, and that's actually an important point that over the last 3 or 4 years after Irma, which was 5 years ago, I had come to the commission with the idea of getting a generator for the library civic center. You guys approved that, we got that in, and also those roll down doors I think for the following year, and they held up very well. They were, I guess they were pretty noisy, you know, as the wind was hitting them, they rattled quite a bit, but they did do their job, and I appreciate that. So I'll do a little bit of a hurricane wrap up for you guys. So we had staff, we had all the department heads were here, with the exception of anybody that had a pending real reason not to be here. And I don't mean just they didn't feel like showing up. And we divided the staff up between City Hall here and the Civic Center and the library. And so upstairs at the library, we allowed staff that were concerned about leaving their families home, they could bring their family members with them, or if they had a dog, if the dog wasn't like a killer dog. It worked out really well. We had downstairs, we had Laura, Janie, Chelsea were down there. They were manning the social media and the whole thing. They slept over for at least a couple of nights, I think, 2 or 3 nights. I was here from Tuesday night till Saturday morning. John's crew was here between the Civic Center and in this thing here. Everything worked out really well. I want to thank Bonnie, who made like 3 or 4 big, huge trays of lasagna and 2 big vats of sausage biscuits, sausage gravy and biscuits, which we're all wearing around our. I figured I ate like lasagna 8 times in 3 days. Yeah, and Bonnie was here as well. She's a damage assessment person, and she was out. Her and I were actually out in this as the storm was rolling in. I think we counted 7 transformers blow up in our presence, including one right over the truck while we were taking a picture of something. That was a little frightening. And then 2 transformers over on Southwest 4th, and the line caught on fire and was flopping around on the ground next to the truck. It was really a nightmare. So we pulled everybody in. Everybody stayed in at that point. we rode the storm out together. And we were, of course, on generator and bypass pumps with our lift stations. We ordered 5 more generators you guys approved last year, but everything is like a year and a half lead time to get generators. I think they're bobbing around out in San Francisco Bay on a cargo ship. And we're waiting for them to come in, and we have not received them yet, and there might still be 6 months out. We ordered them a long time ago. I also want to give a real shout out to Diana, who works with John. She's our EOC person. Some cities send 2, they encourage us to send 2. We only had 1, most cities only had 1. She was at the Emergency Operations Center from Tuesday night till Friday morning by herself. She was up all night giving us updates on stuff, and you know, when things were whatever, when it went to a category 3 or category 4, where the flooding was, what roads were out and all that. She was sending us pictures and videos in real time. So she hung in there like a trooper through that whole thing. And I just want to make sure I publicly acknowledge her. And then we had, what I heard, they referred to themselves as the downstairs girls. Which was Jamie, Laura, Chelsea, and they were downstairs running the social media and just kind of keeping an eye on everything around the city as well for us. I want to thank Drew for having the foresight to getting that emergency declaration together way ahead of time. He called this storm when it was INV something or other, like a week ahead of time. I want to thank Neil. We had there was some talk that the FEMA trucks were going to come in with their water and boxes of sardines to hand out, like they always do. And staff usually has stayed in the past, and we've had a hard time rounding up volunteers, but I reached out to Neil throughout this thing, and he managed to, we didn't have to mobilize, but he had on standby, I think, the American Legion people, I think maybe some Kiwanis, some just volunteers. Yeah, so he had a lot of people on standby ready to go to hand food out to people, which would have really come in very handy. As it turns out, they didn't send the FEMA trucks here, which is actually good. Real special thanks to John's Utilities and Public Works guys. They were out there being there's a lot of things that you guys don't always see. It's not just, you know, pulling generators from lift station to prevent spillage on the ground. It's not just going around fueling these things up at 3 o'clock in the morning. It's as well as we have flooding issues. As you know, we didn't really have any flooding issues in this city, which was amazing. One thing we do is, I won't go into actual detail as to what we do, but we have 2 large sort of tributaries of water. A lot comes out of Lakewood, and it runs throughout Mulberry, through different areas. Ellis Branch, into the pit over here, and goes over here, into one pit, underneath into another pit, to Lake Whitten and all that. And being able to control that flow means having people out at 2:30 in the morning with a backhoe cleaning debris out of the pipes and so on. And it was just not an easy thing to do, but you know, they went out without complaining, and I appreciate what they do. And because what happens is it all meets up right next to our wastewater plant, and then the water comes up out of the woods. And if it gets too close, and it got within about a foot of the stairs of the electrical house that controls the plant, if we lose that, we lose the whole plant, and all of our sewage goes into the Alafaya River, and that's an environmental disaster that we will be probably on national news for. So we try to alleviate that. So there's a lot of that. There's a lot of very gingerly, okay, open this, do this, close this a little bit, fill this in, do whatever, you know. So it's not a good situation. And now comes the whole cleanup stuff and meeting with the insurance adjusters and putting all this paperwork together. Finance staff is trying to get all that together. Janie meeting today all day at all our buildings. As Chelsea pointed out, there was some damage in the Public Works buildings, a lot of Public Works utility buildings, there are old buildings. Anyway, I think we did an amazing job. I'm very proud of the crew. We were all very tired. My office contained myself, my daughter, my dog, and my daughter's cat. And we slept there for 4 nights, and that was, I kept telling her, we're gonna look back on this. This is gonna be a cool adventure. Because we were shoveling into, the plate of lasagna. Anyway, but I really think we did really well. I also want to thank Commissioner Melanie Bell. We had a staff meeting here, I think yesterday, and Melanie just came strolling by the door there and walked up to the thing and wanted to see me. There was just no phone call. She just was checking on all the jurisdictions. What can we do to help? What can we do to help you out? And I just appreciate that. Shop your own car. I was driving around. That meant a lot. Anyway, getting off, I hope I didn't forget anybody. I probably did. But I just want to tell you that I'm very proud of this whole and everything they did. I also went to dinner and a movie, so I'm switching now off of that. And I just want to tell you, that was really cool. I had my sister there. She reminded me that my father took us to see the birds in the theater when I was 3 years old, and that explained a lot. Permanent damage. And it was good. It was a great event. She had 2 people that did a great job. Shout out to them as well. And we are in the process of planning, and it'll probably get, do we have a date in March? Is it March or February?
Last week in February.
Okay, murder mystery dinner.
Oh, no, not that, sorry, I thought you were mentioning Elvis. It's always Elvis.
Well, Elvis is coming.
It's the 4th of February, the first Saturday, this Founder's Day is the next week.
What is the murder mystery dinner, Chelsea?
February 4th.
February 4th? Okay.
She said confidently.
So, murder mystery dinner. That's one of the reasons why we designed that theater the way it is with that big flag. That's for cabaret theater. Murder mystery dinner. We're going to probably do a couple different things. We have 2 different things cooking right now. One is with Cindy Rodriguez, who you know from Split Much. She's going to direct it. We're going to get all our folks out here. You go there, dinner, big table, you get clues. You have different local folks that go up there and they play. It's almost like the game of Clue, Professor Plum and Colonel Mustard, but they're not really those people. But there's a script and characters, and you have to decide who killed the person and what was their motive and how did they do it. And you have dinner, and it's a great time. And you sit with people you don't know, and you all compare clues and theories. It's just a great community thing. They're very popular in Frostproof, and I know that I've been to them at the Ritz Theater. And so as that begins to formulate, we'll get you back on that. But I just want to let you know that in the middle of all this chaos, we're still working. You can tell me, look at this library calendar. They put this out 3 days after the hurricane. And I don't think I have anything else, but I probably do. I'm all over the place. But I'm just good. That's it. Thank you.
City Attorney.
Thank you, Mayor.
That's you, isn't it?
Oh, that's good. We are a week behind on various things because of the hurricanes. So we're looking at potentially bringing up your annexation issues at the next meeting, working with your planning staff in order to make that happen. The local state of emergency did expire yesterday. That's a 7-day period, and you can renew it if you so wish, but I don't necessarily advise that you do. At this point, the county is has been declared disaster area at the federal level and is eligible for Category A and Category B expenses. So that's going to be cleanup, any kind of pre-hurricane planning work type things. So most of your eligible expenses will be covered by FEMA at some point.
Well, and the thing is, that takes like a year or better. With the declaration of emergency that we had put together, it allowed a lot more flexibility with spending. So we go out. The bad news is we have a fleet of 8 Cadillacs coming.
Right. No, it's the most important tool that we can put together from a legal standpoint in order to help you, and we're happy to do it. So, but should we go into any kind of emergency spending in the future with the result of hurricane needing cleanup, we'll be happy to work through those procurement issues for you. So, on that, I did file a request today with the seller of the property for City Hall to extend our due diligence period by a couple of weeks. given that ACT, our folks that are doing our environmental work are engaged in emergency issues at this point. I haven't heard back from their attorney yet, but I'm certain that they shouldn't have any objection to that. I'll make sure you guys are kept informed on where we stand on those issues. Other than that, we're just pushing forward with all the legal matters of the city. Happy to answer any questions if anybody has.
Well, I think I just misunderstood. You talking about the different, cleanup organizations and whatnot.
Yes, sir.
Paid for. Is this for the city, residents in the city?
It's a great question. So my understanding is that the county is taking the lead with contracting for debris cleanup. And so entities that have certified trucks will be working from the south end, moving north to try to clean up various different areas, including municipalities. So to the extent that if we had any trucks, I know that it would be eligible for us. We could probably pile up debris in a spot. Some cities are doing that. Auburndale's doing that. Lake Alfred's kind of doing that. So they're putting their groups together. They're non-certified trucks to kind of. But I'm not sure that we have any of those tools that are in. So, but the county's taking the lead on that, and that will all be paid for through FEMA. Yeah. So as long as the debris is in the right spot, like at the front of the corner, the normal spot that Floridians always put their things. Yeah. So we should be good there. And then,
I thought I saw one of those trucks on Fifth Avenue today.
They did just start. Yeah, October, well, pardon me. They started October 3rd. So my understanding was they started yesterday, the county trucks. Yeah. So if you saw one today, I saw one in Bartow today, you should start seeing more shortly.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So that, yes.
Paradise Lakes and Bank Three are private property, and they have a lot of debris. So are they responsible for paying all that, or can they submit a bill to FEMA?
They're fairly I'm not sure how that works with the mobile parks.
We provide refuse service for them. They pay the city.
Yeah.
We use our private contractor. So my thought would be that they're eligible, that the trucks will come through there as well and pull that stuff out. I don't remember anybody complaining that they didn't go through those parks. So there was not any issue with them having to ask for additional help. Now, as far as them getting some reimbursement or something like that, that's whatever they want to do.
Yeah. It's my understanding too, that Cedar Trail landfills, that's Republic's landfill, they typically will accept regular yard waste, they will not accept storm debris, but there are certain areas around the county that are set up for storm debris. And so these haulers are taking them to those areas and processing everything there.
Well,
So,
the only reason I asked is I talked to the city, to the managers of those parks.
yeah.
I just don't know what to tell them.
Right. I don't have a good answer for that right now. At least I haven't heard anything from that. I can certainly inquire about that for you and try to get some more certainty around that issue for you. Yeah.
I will say that they have scrap metal or aluminum, if they put it out to the curb, it'll be picked up, not by private contractors, it'll be picked up by
Yeah, and a good point, the debris piles are debris. So that's gonna be wood, that's, trees, limbs, no trash, nothing that, they're not trash piles.
And you gotta keep some of that stuff separate, like, if
Yeah.
you've got a roof in it, it doesn't go with the yard debris.
Right.
It goes in a separate stack.
Right.
And we've got it stacked differently.
Yep. I would avoid fire hydrants too, because the claws will just grab the fire hydrant right after. It was to say, absolutely, I want to echo the comments I've heard from other commissioners. My heart certainly goes out for that gentleman whose life was lost today. I personally know his sergeant, and that's just a horrible thing, and for everybody all involved. So it was terrible news to hear. I've nothing further from the legal desk. If there's no other questions, Mr. Mayor.
City clerk?
I just need to remind everyone that RSVP to the Richmond dinner on the 13th. That's it.
That's my RSVP, right?
Coach didn't get
I
it.
didn't get it.
The Ridgely dinner on the 13th, just a reminder about it.
Oh,
And I already gave you mine.
I believe so. Erica has all of those.
And I think Erica's probably gonna be sitting in a seat at the next meeting. Yeah, she's been quietly training over there, and she wasn't the only one that stood up and clapped.
Let's make sure to remember that.
All right, commissioners, anything before we close? Then we will stand adjourned. Thanks for coming, everybody.